counterfeit version of Willice the Word Master. That is, of course, Willice the Sheng Master. But for now, on Mind Your Language, let's have the real man himself, Willice the Word Master, coming to us live from Kisumu County. Willice, too many fakes around the block.
Betty, but just to say something before anything else.
Yeah.
Great and wonderful work by the duo, that is Freddie and Willice.
Yeah.
Very creative. But my worry is, once I land in the capital city, I'm not sure whether I'll be called Willice, and I'm not sure whether Willice will be mistaken as Willice one given time.
I think there's a bit of difference, you know, especially with the specs and something else. I think you're safe for now, but at least he's fake and funny. All right, Willice, let's get straight to our words tonight. Do we say laundry or laundry?
Well, Betty, many people say laundry, but we don't pronounce that word like that. We say laundry, laundry. Just like we say lounge, not lounge, to launch a book. And we also say Lord, L-A-U-D, Lord, not loud. So we have a vowel digraph, A and U combining to form a long vowel O. Laundry, Lord, launch.
All right. Okay, great. Now, let's move on to the next one. When referring to bride price, you know, you hear uncles, aunties saying dowry. Yeah? Is that right, or is it dowry, dowry? Which is which?
It's common to hear dowry. Many people talk about dowry, which is not anywhere. We say dowry. He has paid the dowry, dowry. And we also talk about cowrie shells, not cowrie, not cowrie. Cowrie shells, dowry.
All right, Willice. Moving on to the next one. Do we say voluntarily or voluntarily? Coming from the word volunteer.
Voluntarily. Volunteer, voluntarily. Volunteer, voluntarily. Just like we have fortunate, fortunately. That letter U takes the weak or soft vowel O. Fortunate, fortunately.
All right.
Volunteer, voluntarily.
Voluntarily. Moving on to this honeymoon destinations called Seychelles or Seychelles.
I always really like that word. Many people say Seychelles, Seychelles. Some even say Seychelles. We don't say any of those. The correct pronunciation of that word is Seychelles. Seychelles. Just like we talk about London. London, not what people say as London. We also say Ireland. Ireland, not Ireland, not Ireland. We also talk about Uruguay, not Uruguay. Paraguay, not Paraguay, and all that. But when it comes to names, Betty, very tricky. Some are unpronounceable when I talk linguistically.
All right, let's move on to some more names. I met a group of youth, and they were wondering about some car brand names. Let me give you an example. We hear people saying my Mercedes or my Mercedes. Is that right? Mercedes.
You've pronounced that name. Your pronunciation rings a bell in my mind when I'm at home. Anyway, at my backyard, we say Mercedes. But the correct pronunciation, which may be a surprise to many people, is Mercedes. That is the name of the car. Right. Mercedes. We have the name Mercedes as a name of a person or a place in England. But when we talk about the car, believe you me, we say Mercedes. Just like we also say Chevrolet or Chevrolet, not Chevrolet. Chevrolet. We also talk of Renault, what many people call locally Renault. We don't have Renault car, we say Renault. We also have Subaru, and somebody can say Subaru. Some of those people who like Elysian. And finally, Betty, on names of cars, they are very tricky because they also have variants. We also say Volkswagen. What we say Volkswagen locally. Volkswagen. But with us, we are used to saying Volkswagen. Very common among us.
That's Subaru Kwanza. It's, I think people think it's, you know, it has swag to say Subaru, but it's actually Subaru. Of
well,
course, Willice,
we
you know
have
what
variants.
swag is.
Names of places, things. You know, some are very technical. I've just called some of them unpronounceables. They may be very foreign, either, or they could be very complex. But with names of cars, we must be very careful.
All right, Willice. Okay, great. I like those names. I think next week we'll proceed with is it Hyundai or Hyundai and so many more. But let's continue with our list tonight. There's these two words, coast, like C-O-A-S-T, like Mombasa, like Pwani. And then you have C-O-S-T, like Bei Yakitu, Garama, I hope, cost. Which how do you pronounce both words?
Betty, I remember last week you talked about coat, and court.
Yes.
Today you are giving me what we call coast, that is C-O-A-S-T, coast, Pwani. But Bay, we say cost, the cost of something, what we call a pure vowel O, cost. But the other one has a slight vowel glide, O, coast, Pwani.
Coast. Willice. Let's move on to the next, surprise word for tonight.
Well, surprise words.
Yes.
We don't say grandmother. N is not there. That sound is not there. We say gran. D is silent. So we talk about grandmother, grandfather, grandson, granddaughter, grandchild, grandparent, not grand. No.
Okay.
D is silent. That is a surprise word. And also, Betty, we have certain names. Today it's like we are dealing with names.
Yes, names. I know. Interesting.
You may be hearing many people talking about Pius Muiru. Pius.
Oh yeah, yes, the church leader.
Believe you me, we don't say Pius. That is what we say locally. The name is Pius. When we are talking about the English pronunciation, we say Pius, not Pius.
Willice, you know him.
Just like we also don't say.
You know, he also says Pius Muiru.
We don't. I said names have variants, but please, when we want to pronounce that word in the English context, we say Pius instead of Pius. Just like we have Linus or Linus, not Linus, the way we say it locally. And we also have the name Hezekiah. You'll hear people saying Hezekiah, Hezekiah Oyugi, and all that. You'll also hear people talking of Geoffrey or Geoffrey. We don't say Geoffrey, neither do we say Geoffrey. The name is actually pronounced as Jeffrey.
What?
Just like that.
Jeffrey. Hey, Willice, tonight's surprise words have gotten me off balance. Pius Muiru. So I don't know if he's going to change his name, his pronunciation. Maybe. Let's wait and see. I like those surprise words, Willice. Let's move on to feedback. Because of time, I'll just mention two. Felix Boss wants to know, do we say either or either?
What we don't say, Betty, is either. We don't say either. We say either or either. We have two alternative pronunciations for that word. Either or either. Just like we say neither and neither. Both are allowed, but not neither.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Linda Achieng wants to know, do we say dossier or dossier? Where is the stress? Or is that even the right pronunciation?
A dossier. Simple as such. Dossier.
Dossier.
The dossier.
All right.
There you are.
Wow. Willice, thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you on. I think tonight I gave it up. You know, the surprise words were really, really, I like them. Thank you very much for that, Willice.